Hi, third graders. Today we are going to be practicing some more reading MCA comprehension, checking for understanding. And today we're going to talk more about signal words and sequence. Um, so make sure you're on the story, The Giant Heart. Remember, you can pause the story, you can forward it if you've already read it on your own. If you want to pause it at any time, write down some answers, check your work that way. Remember, you can give yourself an M if you've done the work on your own and checked your answers with me for accuracy and you got them correct, you can give yourself an M. All other scores will be P's or D's. P's will be that you're following along with me, you're practicing with me, and then D's might be you still don't understand it when you're following along with me and you're practicing with me. Okay, let's get started reading The Giant Heart. You can again read this on your own. You can forward this part and skip right to finding the sequence of events. It says, read the museum review, then follow the directions in the text marking box. We entered the Franklin Institute right after it opened at 9:30 a.m. Everyone in our class was excited. We were about to visit a heart, and not just any heart. This one is big enough for a person about as tall as a Statue of Liberty. The first thing we noticed when we entered the exhibit hall was a sound. It was the lub-dub of a heartbeat. We stood and listened. Then we climbed up the narrow steps to enter the heart itself. There we walked slowly from the chamber to chamber. Within each enclosed space, there were science facts to read. First, we passed through a ventricle, one of the heart's lower chambers. Next, we crawled through an atria, a blood vessel that carries blood from the heart to the rest of the body. This atria was a tunnel 8 feet long. After exploring the giant heart, we examined other displays about the heart. My favorite one was that compared the heart sizes to different animals. I recommend this museum to anybody with a heart. Okay, now let's go back. We're going to box in signal words. Okay, we're going to start at the top and we are going to continue to box in. So I'm going to get my pen out, you get your pencil out. I'm going to use red, okay? And let's look through the first sentence. It says, we entered the Franklin Institute right after it opened at 9:30 a.m. Let's pause there. Right after is a signal word, and time is a signal word also, okay? Everyone in our class was excited. We were about to visit a heart, and not just any heart, okay? About to is a signal word or signal phrase. Okay. This one is big enough for a person about as tall as the Statue of Liberty. Okay. It says underline the important events. Okay. Entering that building is an important event. When it opens. Okay. And visiting a heart is another important event in this story. Okay. Let's read the next paragraph and find signal words, and let's underline the important events. We'll come back and we'll number the events in order as they happen. Okay. The first thing we noticed when we entered the exhibit hall was the sound of the lub-bub of a heartbeat. Okay. So I think the first thing is another signal phrase. And then some important events is maybe noticing the exhibit hall. There was a sound. Is an important event in that day. Okay. We stood and listened. Okay. That might be another important event. Then there's a signal word. We climbed up the narrow steps to enter the heart itself. Okay. I think climbing up is the next sequence of event. Okay. Sorry that it's kind of moving up and crossing out some of the words. Okay. Just do the best you can kind of reading that. There, we also walked slowly away from the chamber to chamber. Okay. I think the next event is walking slowly from chamber to chamber. Within each enclosed space, there was science facts to read. First, ooh, that's a really good signal word. We passed through the ventricle. So passing through the ventricle is another event that happened through that day. One of the heart's lower chambers. Next, oh, great signal word. We crawled through an atria. So I think that that's another event we crawled through, which is a blood vessel that carries blood from the heart to the rest of the body. This atria was a tunnel 8 feet long. After, great signal word, exploring the giant heart, we examined other displays about the heart. So examining other displays is the next event in their day. My favorite was the one that compared the heart sizes of different animals. I recommend this museum to anybody with a heart. Now let's go back through and number the events in order. So first, they entered the Franklin Institute. Next, number 2, they visited a heart. Okay. Number 3, they noticed a sound. So we noticed a sound, and then after that, they stood and listened and climbed up the narrow steps. Then, walking slowly from chamber to chamber was their event 5 of the day. Then they passed through a ventricle, which would be number 6. Then they crawled through an atria, which was number 7. And then they examined other displays about the heart, which is number 8. So lots of events in their day. Okay. Again, give yourself a score on the front. If you're able to do that on your own and you kind of checked, it doesn't have to be exactly like mine, but if it's pretty close, you can give yourself an M. If you did it with me, you're going to give yourself a P. Remember, a P is doing it with help, okay? An M is doing it on your own accurately. If you still don't understand how to find signal words or important events or numbering something from in sequence order, give yourself a D, okay? And then you're going to click on the next part of Schoology, and that's going to give you the answers of the back. But if you want to try those answers on the back on your own, and then you can check with the video to see if you did it correctly, you can do it that way too.